spiders, sex. Yeah, 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 yeah.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Prince Zay, and today's video is going to be a little bit different than my normal videos. So pretty much on today's video, we're going to be talking about a controversial topic, and with these type of segments, I'm going to pretty much just talk about different controversial topics, about what it is, and then how I feel about the controversial topic. So if you can't tell from the title below, today's controversial topic is going to be, is there a gay agenda being pushed? So before we get into what I think about it, we're just gonna kind of discuss what that gay agenda is that people are speaking about or saying that is being pushed. So the gay agenda here in America that they're claiming is being pushed is like with TV shows, like there's too much homosexual things, like in kids' TV shows, like just too much homosexual things that kids can get a hold of or that are accessible to kids easily, like shows, movies, commercials, like products, games, toys, just a lot of things. And so really how I feel about the gay agenda being pushed is, I think there's not a gay agenda being pushed. I feel like people have to understand, for a long time, a lot of people have seen like heterosexual things. Like I know there's like a thing within this whole gay agenda is like, if a young child sees something, they could turn into that because kids are easily impressionable, I guess. And so I don't really understand how that works sometimes, because I myself, I am a gay black male and I was raised in a heterosexual household, but I still came out to be a homosexual male. And so sometimes when people are like, oh, well, if a child has two of the same sex parents, or if they're watching like something gay on TV as a child, is going to influence them to be like that. But in reality, that's not true. Like, I do believe sometimes we are a product of our environment, but I don't feel like that totally makes up one's self or like ID, because I feel like from the very start, everybody is who they're going to be. Like whether your traits came out as a kid, whether you know showed it, whatever, I feel like from the very moment, at least when we become kids and we start doing activities and stuff, we're kind of who we are going to be. Like, yes, growing up, things kind of shape us and stuff, but I do believe, you know, people are going to be who they are. And so again, back to just watching heterosexual things, like I said, growing up for me, like I've seen a lot of heterosexual shows and movies. Majority of them are heterosexual, of course, but like when I was younger, I didn't see any representation. And so representation is something I kind of want to get into, but I don't want to jump around too much. But what I'm saying is, I didn't see any type of representation for people like me. And as a kid, I didn't know that, but I'm just saying, for people who thought like me, maybe, you know, people just like me, like I didn't see any type of representation. And so to say that there's an agenda because a lot of like things nowadays are very inclusive and diverse, I feel like that's not fair to the gay community, like to everybody's community, but the gay community, because at the end of the day, all of this stems from representation. Like everybody wants representation. Like I feel like representation is huge. Like I don't care what nobody says. Like I had a friend one time tell me that she didn't care about representation, or that representation really didn't matter, because if you're a person who can think for yourself, or if you're really that person, then you don't need representation. But that's not true. Everybody needs representation. That's like me wanting to take a job, like an example, that's like me wanting to take a job that maybe majority of females take. So maybe I don't want to do that because, hey, I don't see no guys doing it. So, oh, men can't do it, but I really want that job. But then one day I see a guy take the job, and now because I seen a guy take the job, I want to do the job because he did the job. That's representation. That's a form of representation. He did something that I really want to do, and maybe I was a little bit scared to take that initiative, but because I seen him do it, and he did something that I wanted to do, and he's doing it, now I feel like I can definitely do it, and now I'm going to go do it. So that's why I feel like representation is huge. Like, we didn't have that type of representation, I feel like, when I was growing up. And I feel like now homosexuality and like all of that is everywhere. But to me, I just don't feel like it's a gay agenda. I just feel like people, you know, we're in a diverse era, and like I said, back to representation, everybody needs representation. How do you know if a child is going through X, Y, and Z and you can't help them because you're not in that category? How can a child, or a person in general, how can a person feel comfortable? Like, yes, you're supposed to be comfortable with yourself, but I feel like it's more comfortable when you see a group of people do the same thing, because it makes you feel like you can do it, rather than people hating on a topic or hating on something. Nobody's gonna want to do something that everybody is hating on. Like, yeah, of course, like I said, it takes initiative to get things done too, but who really wants to go out and do something that's kind of huge, that's gonna get a negative, you know, outlook, and not a lot of people are doing it? But if a lot of people are doing it and you fit into that category with those people, you're gonna want to do it. So as far as like this gay agenda being pushed, I personally don't feel like there's a gay agenda being pushed. If anything, I feel like the agenda that's being pushed is more so of like grooming kids, if you guys get what I'm saying. Like, let's set aside homosexuality for a minute, and we're just going to talk about Disney, for example. So like with Disney, I feel like a lot of people speak about homosexuality and how shows have this and that, but I feel like a lot of people don't speak about some of these networks like Disney that have had kids going missing, parents reporting sexual assault, Disney hiring pedophiles, and trying to basically groom kids to be in these positions that are for older people, or positions that they don't even know about. To me, I feel like that's the true agenda being pushed. I feel like they're trying to make kids used to this whole like adult life type of thing. Like, for instance, young girls marrying older men. Like, that is not right. I feel like that right there is not right. That's what we should be speaking about. We shouldn't be speaking about people being themselves and having that diversity and having that representation. Like, we should be speaking about topics like kids being groomed and having like pedophiles work in the same environment as kids. Like, I feel like kids should just be able to be kids. And even if that does involve, you know what I'm saying, like having a TV show where they show representation for like homosexuality and heterosexuals, like, I feel like you never know what a person is going through. Like I said, and I'll say this again in one of my other videos, I've known that I was different. I'm gonna say at least that I was different by like the age of 5. Like, I knew something wasn't right with me. And I feel like instead of telling kids, oh, you gotta wait until you're 16 or 18 because you don't know what you're talking about, sometimes I feel like y'all don't know what you're talking about, because some of y'all are not comfortable with yourselves. Like, as a kid, I feel like, yeah, you may not have to throw it in their face and like, oh, are you gay? Are you gay? Are you sure this is gay? Like, no, you don't have to do that. But I think I think it's okay for kids to see that. I feel like it prepares them for the real world. Like, it prepares them, it shows them that that's okay. I feel like when you're telling a kid, oh, my kid can't watch this, or my kid can't be around gay people, I feel like you're telling them that people like that are not okay. Because if they were okay, wouldn't they be able to be around them? Wouldn't they be able to see something on TV? I mean, y'all don't have a problem with watching two heterosexuals, letting kids watch shows where heterosexuals are kissing. But let it be homosexual or something like that, or them kissing, now it's an uproar, it's a problem. There is a gay agenda being pushed. Like, if anything, kids shouldn't be seeing that type of chemistry on TV to begin with. Like, kids don't even know about love, but y'all want to complain about kids seeing homosexuality, but like I said, don't have a problem with seeing two heterosexuals kiss. That's my problem. Like, you never know what a person is going through. And then not only that, sometimes people want to see things like this to help them get through different things. Back to that whole that representation thing. It can help them. It can help them be comfortable with themselves. It can make them feel like they have representation. It makes them feel like they're not alone. It makes them feel like they matter in this world. Because honestly, I'm gonna be honest with you, and this is coming from a gay male, and this is my experience. This is just, I don't want to speak for everybody else, but this is just from me. When y'all say things like that, it makes me, now I don't want to speak, like I said, I don't want to speak for other people, but it makes me sometimes feel less of myself. It makes me feel like I'm not as important, an important human being as heterosexual human beings. It makes me feel like, it just makes me feel like shit. And no telling how many other thousands and hundreds of thousands of people who are in the same category are going through the same thing. So to say a gay agenda is being pushed, I don't think so. A agenda being pushed on kids, maybe. But a gay agenda, I don't think so. I just think we just need that representation. We need that implement put into this society so everybody knows that it is okay. It is okay to be different. Everybody isn't going to be the same. And if everybody was going to be the same, we would be in a world where it'd just be so black and white, so gray and so just dull and so gloomy. Like, that's not how the world works. Everybody is literally different. We all go through different experiences. And I feel like people should just take that for what it is. And I'm not saying that you necessarily have to like people of that stature or in that group, but I feel like you should definitely respect them. Because like people say, if you want respect, you have to give it. And how can you demand respect when you're not giving respect to people that haven't even disrespected you? You get what I'm saying? Like, that is just, it's a way to just be fair in life. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, we've been watching heterosexual shows and couples and commercials for years. So now that we're in the era where there's gay people in the show, a movie, a commercial, and everybody's in an uproar, it's not fair. And it's really not fair because to not have that, I feel like that doesn't show a real representation of the real world, because that's what we have in the real world. That's what it is. I feel like we need more people to be compassionate towards one another. I feel like this is also how we get set back too, because I feel like instead of us trying to really come together, like really come together and just really be as one, which is kind of hard because everybody has different thoughts. Everybody processes things different. Everybody wants this and that. But I really feel like if we can really come together and just as one in like society, I really feel like we can get further. Like, I feel like when we worry about things like this, like a gay agenda and this, that, and the third, I kind of feel like it sets us back. It sets us back a lot because there's real things happening in this world. Like, real things like, you know, with the stuff in Gaza, or like Pakistanians, and just like Black Lives Matter, and just different things. There's a lot of things in this world that are super important that we need to tackle and hassle and worry about. But instead of worrying about those things, we're over here worried about one's agenda and then lifestyle. And I feel like that's not important as people make it seem. Like, gay people are no different than straight people. Everybody, we're all the same. We're all human. We all bleed. We all have skin. We all have we're all the same. The only thing different with us is that we, you know what I'm saying, our blood type, skin color, but other than that, we all bleed. We all are human beings that would deserve to just be themselves, be free, be open, and just be able to be themselves without that judgment from the world. So that's pretty much my take on this whole gay agenda thing. Again, I just feel like there's no gay agenda being pushed. Like, I feel like people are just weak-minded. Like, they're weak-minded. Like, if you really don't care that much about it, I feel like you shouldn't worry about it. I feel like only people who are in that community should be the ones that's worried about it, because at the end of the day, those things that are implemented in this and that, majority of the time is for us, so we can all feel inclusive, so we can all feel like we matter. We can all feel like we are the same. Like, there's nothing trying to separate us and make us feel different. Y'all really need to worry about like I said, the agenda that I feel like they're pushing on kids rather than the gay agenda. Because the agenda they're pushing on kids is trying to make kids a lot older than they seem and put them in these positions that they should not even be in. And yes, being gay, I feel like is a discussion that you want to have, because it is different, but at the same time, it's a lifestyle. It's just who you are. Like, it's not one day you just wake up and say, hey, I want to be like this. Like I know a lot of people who claim it happens like that. I'm gonna tell you, it's bullshit. You are who you are. You don't just wake up one day and say, hey, I'm this, and I can turn it off and turn it off this, and I can do that. It does not work like that. You are who you are, and I feel like people should just be able to be comfortable and be able to be them and have representation without people making them feel bad for it. Because we shouldn't feel bad for it. And if anything, we should be feeling happy. Like, we're in new times where we can be ourselves. Like, we still have people who, you know, don't like us and say this and that and the third, but I feel like majority of it is we really are in a time where we get to be ourselves, and I feel like this is a blessing, and I'm happy to be here and be able to be alive and be young in this time that we are in, that I can enjoy all of this and take it all in and get that experience. Because I know back in the day, it was not, you weren't able to do this. Like, this was not a thing, and now we have come so far. Like, you can get married, like gay people can get married in different states, and we can see ourselves be represented on TV and on commercials and on shows and in the media and at award shows. Like, it is a very big thing. So I just want to say, for the people out there that's not in the community, just try to be more compassionate to people that are, and just remember, when you think there's a gay agenda being pushed, remember that you've probably somewhere down the line have gotten to see yourself have representation. Now ask yourself, do you think it's fair that gay people don't get to have representation? And I feel like once you really think about that and kind of combat back and forth in your mind what you think, 9 times out of 10 you're going to understand that, yeah, they need representation, and maybe there isn't a gay agenda being pushed. So that is my take on the gay agenda. Like I said, this is like a new segment I'm going to be doing, where I'm going to be talking about controversial topics. And if you have any controversial topics that you want me to discuss, you definitely can comment down below in the comment section, and I will get to that controversial topic and I will speak about it. I'll speak about anything. I just want to get on here and I want to talk to you guys. You know, like it's family. Like we're sitting down and having that type of conversation. Thank you guys for watching my video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment, and your boy is out.